Tittle, it breaks my heart to see the younger generation these days. This article is long, but I hope you will pay attention to it because it contains an important story. The reality we face now is not that simple. The flow of everything, the breath, and even the foundation of the country are shaking. So this is no different from a path to ruin. Due to the real estate problem, the younger generation has difficulty purchasing a house on their own. Even if they save their salaries little by little, they cannot afford the rising housing prices and Jaon's prices. In the end, they have no choice but to be pushed out to the outskirts of the city, and at the end of that, a reality awaits them where it is difficult to find hope anymore. How can they dream of marriage and family in this situation? The problem is the politicians. The foundation of the country is collapsing in a distorted system that prioritizes donations and compensation over the future of the country. Now that bribes in the name of donations are taken for granted in the legislative body, even the name of democracy feels shameful. Here, think of Gandhi. If you ask him, is this reality truly democracy? And wouldn't you ask? The sponsorship system needs to change from the ground up. It is difficult to expect incorruptible politics in a country where a company is allowed to give a large amount of sponsorship to a member of the National Assembly under disguised pretexts and wield political influence. The fact that almost no one is filing a constitutional petition or raising a voice of resistance in this situation is even more dismal. I once tried to replace all 255 members of the National Assembly and create a new National Assembly that operates without sponsorship or salaries. However, I failed. Nevertheless, I still shout. I believe that I have a responsibility to make this story not seem too difficult. There will certainly be a bright dawn for the future of the Korean Peninsula. However, the dawn and the signs of national ruin are approaching at the same time. Didn't they say that the darkest moment is right before dawn? Even in this darkness, we need someone who can bring a ray of light. This light is not simply a matter of hope, but the key to bringing about real change. I know that I often seem crazy. However, I believe that we need a subject who brings dawn, a light that takes responsibility behind the darkness. At first, he may be treated as a clown or a madman, but in the end, he holds the key to changing the current structure and saving people. It may be hard to believe, but all of this has been repeated in history. In our current era, unconscionable pleasure and enjoyment are rampant. We are witnessing the phenomenon of individual pleasure harming the safety and coexistence of the community, and we are regressing rather than developing. I am convinced that this is the shortcut to national ruin. Based on my experience of a life of thorough self-restraint, I can say that we should live a life true to our essence instead of chasing pleasure. Even in times of poverty and hardship, I always pursued books and studying. While working in a difficult factory, I thought about ways to study whenever I had time, and went to school at night to continuously learn. The work was hard, but more importantly, I had to continue studying. However, these days, many young people come to me for advice saying that they don't like studying. Whenever that happens, I feel deeply sorry. Studying is not just about accumulating knowledge, but is an important tool that opens up opportunities in life. However, it breaks my heart to see that it is neglected and not considered a true joy. In the end, the direction we must take is clear. Will the country perish or will we see a new dawn?